Hello everybody, I'm Rebecca and I've just been in dialogue with my friend Chris about community and guardianship and this energetic shift that's happening, I think, in the world and in community at large in relationships. And in my waking life, in my professional paradigm, I've trained myself to be a counselor. So to hold the stories that people share with me and then feed them back new perspectives. And that's my professional kind of identity. That's who I am in the world. But there's this other part of me that I do so much more than just what HIPAA says I can do or what the government says I can do. I also sometimes in dream states and sometimes waking states do intuitive work or psychic work, and that in of itself like communicates a particular paradigm or a particular box. And as we're talking about all of this, like about guardianship, I just think about the difference between being a human being that's growing and fluid and stagnant in identity. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like because I'm not just one of these things. Mm-hmm. I'm all of them. And in participating in community, I'm what you are too. Like we get to share in this energy. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what we've been doing in our conversation is I'm amped. I'm sparkly right now and stuff like that. And just again with all the different ways people communicate who they are in the world, mm-hmm. I'm wondering what are we really saying here?
What are we saying?
What are we saying?
How are we communicating with each other? So even I guess taking a look at the different ways that we are communicating with each other, you mentioned psychic fields.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're opening up all these different healing realms. And not only that, if you notice on Facebook, a form of communication is I drop all those glyphs on Facebook. And if I had my way, if everybody understood it, I would literally at this point just be exclusively communicating in Sanskrit. If everyone could totally understand it, because I honestly think it's the most beautiful language. Mm-hmm. And so we're all communicating in all these different ways with each other, through different languages, through different lineages. When communication comes up, mm-hmm. this crystals, here's my little main crystal that I roll with. It's been with me for 3 years. It's a really powerful piece, lots of experiences dropped into it, and I communicate with it all the time. And it literally, it has structurally changed form over time, through the experiences I had. So this is also, crystals are a huge way to communicate with each other. Yeah. Actually, quartz crystal is inside of your new iPhone 5, even your iPhone 4. It's inside your MacBook Pro processor. It's literally running all of our technology, and it is a point of communication. So something that I like to do is definitely hand off crystals to people, have crystals on other people's altars, share crystals with people, because then if they have this physical object, it's sort of like an antenna. And you can communicate, and you can transmit your thoughts and your feelings into that person's space.
But more than and there's a, how do I say this? Crystals are a dense representation of energy, essentially. You're able to hold this quartz crystal mm-hmm. in your hand, and it's imbued with the energy of the experiences you've had. Mm-hmm. But memories are a form of communication. And ritual storytelling or just gatherings are ways that we all link in and I guess support this organism, mm-hmm. this love right here, and the greater love. And that's what I'm talking about when we're here on Love Improv, the juice, the connectedness, because there's no more desperate feeling than isolation.
Yeah, and so what came up for me as you were speaking about that, so on the tangible, physical, three-dimensional level of communication, the thing that struck me the past few years and definitely the past few months, through our collective evolution, the greatest form of communication that I've been practicing is listening. Like, yeah, I have all my cool ideas, and I'm really like stoked to be like on the YouTubers and sharing them with you. And definitely in a lot of situations I am really outspoken, but it's the fact that I'm like deeply listening to people that I feel I'm attracting this energy where people want to come and like share their stories and gain perspective. And so really just like listening to people and allowing people to emote and like share where they are and share their experience and feel safe and comfortable and nurtured in that. Even if, you know, a lot of times with my communication in this style, when I do communicate with people, there's an energy of tough love behind it. I'm pretty direct, and I don't really, you know, don't necessarily candy coat things too much. So a lot of times it could be sharp for people to take, but I guess what I'm saying is it starts with listening to people and understanding where they're at and creating some sort of framework and context around their experience, and then sharing with each other and helping each other grow. It's
a dance between allowing and participating and coming to it fully. So there are so many ways to really communicate and ultimately to connect and to drop into the space of love that we're hoping you're participating by watching. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them on our Facebook page. Thank you so much for stopping by. I am Rebecca. Keep it sexy.